Hey guys, C-Drama Invasion here, and welcome to a new video. It's been a crazy month where there's just so many scandals coming out from different idols, and today we have Lucas from Wavy, who's been accused by gaslighting and cheating by his two Chinese ex-girlfriends allegedly. And ever since that, there's actually been a third alleged victim that came out and talked about it too. So let's just get into it. First, we'll be talking about everything in chronological order, what he's accused of, who accused him, and the latest SM entertainment, apology, statements, and overall fan reactions. If you haven't seen my channels before, I make videos and updates on Chinese entertainment, and I cover all the Chinese scandals that's been happening recently, so make sure to check in the description box for all the links down below if you're interested. So this actually started on August 23rd when a user posted many photos on Twitter as evidence saying that they are exposing Lucas for gaslighting and leeching money off of them. If you're not familiar with the term gaslighting, it's basically when you manipulate someone psychologically, when they question themselves and they believe that what they're doing is wrong, when instead the other person is the one that's being toxic and manipulative. Now I'll be reading her statements, and she starts off saying, "At first, Lucas expressed his interest in me and got my number. We then began dating, but suddenly he had a difficult time because of his schedule and asked me to break up, so I broke up without any hard feelings. But the problem began here. The next day, he then said that he missed me and said we should stay friends. But whenever he had days off, he would always come to my apartment or hotel and make me pay for everything. Of course, it was the same way while we were dating. He even went as far as to tell me to buy his cigarettes. On days that I didn't buy it, he would tell me, 'Why didn't you buy it? I thought that it was obvious that you would buy it.' He also says that because he's a celebrity, he can't go outside nor use his credit card without getting caught by his manager. She also says that she bought him a lot of luxury brand gifts when they were dating, and initially he was super thankful for all these gifts, and he says that he'll cherish it, he'll wear it a lot. But after a certain point, she says after giving him these gifts, it feels like he was manipulating her. He says that he earns a lot of money, so if she's not buying him a car or a house, then she's not really giving him anything special." She said that he kept on gaslighting her by telling her that she's the only person in the world that understands him. And he frequently would text her photos of a hotel or luxury place that he wants to go. She would make a reservation and then they would go there together. He would make it sound like a romantic type of getaway. However, for the most part, he's there for selfish reasons. And she says that he just eats, orders room service all day, sleep all day, rest, and does his own thing. And as soon as they check out, he would cut off contact with her, draw the line, and tell her that she's burdensome, and never said thank you whenever she would pay for his excursions. She says that he took everything for granted and she was paying every single time they met up. She stated that after saying that they wanted to break up, he kept on telling her many hurtful and insulting words, such as, "I don't like you because you're like a fan to me. From now on, don't do things like this." Basically making her feel little like all she is an obsessive fan and she means nothing to him. She said that she did suffer from depression for a while, and she said that she used to like him so much while they were dating. She always thought she would be a burden to him because he's quite popular, and said that she never once asked to take a photo with him, never told anyone, including her friends. After thinking about it, and after he decides to leave for China for his work, she decides to cut things off with him, but he continues to contact her in this way, and she said that she would sue him. She also reveals that immediately the day after I told him I would sue, Lucas left our chat room, changed his number. I dated him while being leached off, and I regret not staying as just a fan. A day after, on August 24th, two Chinese netizens who identified themselves as his former fans came out and said that they also shared a similar experience of cheating and gaslighting. Both of these girls said that they both hooked up with him and he kept on asking for expensive gifts afterwards, and said that they were the only person he was dating at the time. One of these women also says that he invited them over to visit where they smoke and drank together. He said he spoke a lot about his personal life, but especially his NCT members in a bad way. He kept on bad-mouthing them, saying that they were disobedient, lazy, and difficult to get along with. She notes how narcissistic he is and how he kept on bringing up that the other members keep on stealing his fashion jobs, such as endorsements and promotions that were meant for him. He also told her that his family is going through a hard time recently with financial difficulties after his father's investments failed. The girls would feel bad for him and feel special because he's revealing all these vulnerable things about himself, and they would fall for him even more. However, after these news came out, they realized that all of the girls were told the same thing and it was just a part of his plan or manipulation. One of the women also posted a side pic of Lucas sleeping, allegedly, next to them. And the day after that, on the 25th, the third alleged victim spoke up and said, "I never thought there would be a day where I would tell the story between me and him in this way, but I can guarantee that all of this is true. The purpose of this post is to make everyone see through his on-screen, fan-loving, kind and charming personality and reveal his true self, that he only sees his fans as his concubines. He gets in touch with these girls privately, cheats on them, takes advantage of them." And she reveals that she's actually been in a relationship with him online for about 3 years. And she only found out quite recently after reading the statements of the other victims as being one as well, and she's also been played. She revealed their story and how they met. In the summer of 2019, I started supporting a celebrity for the first time. I bought his albums, went all to his fan signs, every single concert, and before his Beijing fan sign in December 2nd, 2019, I kept rehearsing what I should say or ask when I met him. When my friends kept telling me to write down his Instagram and Weibo ID, and maybe he'll respond to my messages. But in my mind, I never thought it would be possible. Someone so popular and on a whole different level isn't something that I would dream to ever talk or become close to. However, one day after meeting him at the fan sign on December 3rd, I received a private message on my Instagram and Weibo account from his secret account. She attached screenshots of his username and asked her to talk to him on WeChat. And the username is LOKASS Locus 444. And she says that the photos there consisted of Wavy's comeback song Takeoff at the time and personal photos of Lucas and more, so she believed him. She said, "At the time I was so shocked and I felt a sense of loss because I only liked him as a fan and idol, and I knew that secretly contacting fans is something that an idol shouldn't do and it's not professional. So I hesitated a little bit, but honestly, girls tend to be blinded by idols, especially if it feels like a drama or something that's tempting, and they always feel curious and go into it without really sense or logic." She said they talked for a while and then he asked her to meet him at a hotel. His idol image has completely shattered in her mind, but it was also the time for her to confirm whether or not he was the real deal. And she would be excited to chat with him and get to know him if it's real. She says that she only has 2 screenshots of their conversation. The rest she promised to delete it when they met in real life. She said that she arrived at his hotel around 3 a.m. that day. She saw him and thought she was dreaming. She was nervous at first, and she didn't buy alcohol. She just wanted to talk with him. So he naturally did, and they talked for a few hours. He said that he got a lot of letters from the fan signs, but he decided to only open hers. And he noticed her a lot from the previous events and remembered her. She said the conversation was quite normal, and he talked about the stress of being an idol and things like that. And then eventually she asked him if he did this a lot before, speaking or reaching out to a fan, and he said she's the only one. He said there was another girl that he invited out for dinner in China, but she wasn't good looking, so he decided to just buy her a meal and talk, and then after that, he decided not to contact them anymore. This victim also said that since it was her first time experiencing this, she didn't really have a reference point and she didn't see any red flags and just went along with it. He said that the next day he's planning to fly to Japan and everyone was sleeping, but he couldn't since it was only a couple hours away, which is why he decided to meet and chat with her. He said that to never tell anyone about this, including her best friend, her family, and promised to delete all the chat logs. She said they continued doing this a lot, and she completely fell in love with him. However, one time in Thailand, he talked to her about his pre-debut love story, telling her that he had a girlfriend while she was a trainee, and unfortunately, for unknown reasons, the girlfriend ended up being kicked out of the agency. She got depression and even went as far as almost ending her life a couple of times, which really traumatized him and is why that he doesn't tend to date a lot. After a while, he tended to have some manipulation tendencies, and she realized that he kept on pushing her to do things that she was uncomfortable with, but because she didn't have a lot of evidence, it was just his word and she took his word, since there was no other evidence. He asked her to sleep with him without protection, saying that he never had a girlfriend for over a year, so there won't be any problem. She found out that he was in contact with a fan in China and confronted him, where he admitted that it was the same girl that he mentioned before where they had a meal together, but he promised that he didn't do anything else. When she asked him about his work, he said he's tired and sick of it. He kept on saying bad things about the military show that he was on in Korea, which a lot of fans are thinking is Real Men. And he also complained about a Chinese variety show who does a lot of bad editing, which makes him look like an idiot. And he's joining the next season, so this is probably keep running. And lastly, on the same day, on August 25th, he posted online his apologies, saying, "This is Lucas. I sincerely apologize to those who are hurt by my wrongdoings. If given the opportunity, I would like to apologize personally. I also sincerely apologize to the fans who have been giving me a lot of love and support because of this incident. When looking at the situations over the past few days, I looked back on my past actions and truly reflected on myself. Looking back on my past behavior, I was definitely wrong. I was irresponsible, throwing away support of fans that given me love for a long time. Once again, I would love to say sorry to everyone who feels disappointed in my actions. In order for this not to happen again, I will suspend all my planned activities and promotions to have time to reflect. Lastly, I apologize to my members, company, staff, various business partners, broadcast stations, officials for causing them harm as well." SM Entertainment also posted saying that we are sorry for causing worry over our artist Lucas's private life issues. We acknowledge the seriousness of this issue and decided to suspend the release of all Wavy Lucas's content, including his single and Comeback. They once again apologize for all of the harm that he caused. So what are the fans' reactions? The main fans' reaction is kind of split. We have people who still support him, thinking that this is fake and that these girls are lying, while others are pointing out how convenient the timing of the Joy and Crush news is that they're dating. So if you don't know, it might be a PR thing where you would put out a positive news, so then there's less attention to the negative one. They also noticed that none of them denied the allegations, so maybe part of it is true. But overall, I hope he does learn something from this and grow, reflect on this, and eventually come back. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think he should be canceled, or do you think that we should give him a second chance to come back? And what are your thoughts about the allegations by the victims? Let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Links to my Ko-fi is down below if anyone wants to support me a little bit extra and buy me a coffee. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.